What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Coach Smook, your favorite Alabama insider and sports media personality. I'm glad to see you in here on the live show tonight. If you're post live, fast forward to the 10-minute mark and you'll get to the call-in segment. But tonight, it's about the fans, just like it's supposed to be from the jump, man. We're going to talk college ball. We're going to talk hot topics, everything you want to get into. But before you get into it, I need you to go ahead and hit that like button. Go ahead and share the stream. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We're on our way to 5K. Jump in the comments live if you can. Get on the phone line. It's all about you. We want to engage with you tonight here on the Coach Smook Network. And remember, when you see me in the streets, holla at me. And say it. Put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Remember, when you see me in the streets, holla at me. Say, put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Put me in the game, Coach Smook. Put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Like, share, subscribe. You know we keep it live.
Put me in the game, Coach Smook. 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 Put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Like, share, subscribe. You know we keep it live.
Hey, y'all, I'm walking out of Walmart. Check, what's your name, bro?
Man, my name Michael McKinney, man. I'm a true Alabama fan, and this man does a good job on his podcast,
What's up, bro?
reviewing Alabama football. Keep doing what you're doing, man.
Appreciate that, bro. Roll Tide.
Oh, let's go. Good afternoon, good evening. What's up, everybody? Good to see everybody in the chat this evening, man. We got a quick interactive show with y'all tonight, man. As you all know, this is kind of like the quiet time for Bama football coverage, for all college football coverage. It's kind of just speculative talk, conversations. We were going to continue our series on player ratings, but we got another week before the actual fall practices start. They come back together for fall practice. So we're going to take our week to gather everything. Our full content schedule will be out. Can y'all hear me good? I feel like I'm kind of low. But our full content schedule will be out this upcoming Monday. So y'all stay tuned for that. Appreciate y'all for tapping in, everybody in the chat, man. I see y'all, my early birds tapping in. What's up, Thad? Good to see you in the chat. Appreciate you for tapping in today. And who else just tapped in? Was that MJ? MJ, appreciate you for tapping in, brother. Good to see you, man. Let me see who over here on the TikTok side. TikTok, I see you, Tiff. What's good, sis? Good to see you, Tiff. Good to see you over there on the TikTok side. I see my family pulling up, man. Roll Tide. Listen, I just kind of game to give y'all some topics of conversation. We do have a 4th of July, a Friday morning show that we will be doing. We won't be doing a show on the 4th. I don't know what I'm talking about, but tomorrow is Friday morning. What's up, Four Guy? Good to see you in the chat, man. Roll Tide. We'll be doing a show tomorrow morning. And I want to kind of prep y'all for the topics of conversation that we're going to be talking about tomorrow. So come in, drop a like on the stream. If you're on TikTok, make sure you share the stream on all of the or repost the stream on your TikTok timeline. And then if you're on Facebook, share it with somebody that's not live in the chat with you right now. Shout out to the Big 14 between all platforms. We thank y'all for tapping in tonight. We got 10 in the chat on YouTube. Run the likes up on the YouTube side, man. We really appreciate y'all. Y'all just don't know, for us to not have been as active as we usually are. You all have been consistent with our analytics. The people that really crave Coach Smook Network content have been coming around consistently. And all you got to do is go look at the views yourself. We got a solid 300-400 people that always come through, and that's solid. And then you all know how the numbers pick up during football season. So let me fix my coach advisor. I actually did reset on it before I became live, so it's kind of cricket right now. And let me see. I'm going to the gym after the live stream, y'all. I'm addicted to the gym, y'all. I'm so sorry. It's all slanted and stuff. I don't know why it looks like that. I guess we'll take it off afterward. Anyways, appreciate y'all for tapping in once again. Don't forget, y'all. We do have our interactive segments coming up next month. We have cutting up. Well, this month it's July now. We have Cutting Up with Coach Smook. We're trying to get with some of the other barbershops. We did have uh Fresh Cut in the Cut barbershop in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. We were going to collab with them for one of these episodes. So when we go there, that's going to be pretty cool because we're going to be able to collab with some of the players that are actually going to get their haircut at the same barbershop. So we trying to move some stuff around. Yeah, I'm about to take this hat off in a second. I was supposed to wear it for promotional reasons, but we ain't gonna talk about that right now, man. We just gonna get into it. All right, tonight, man. Topic of conversation. Let me go and pull this up because I sure had. I have links pre. I'm gonna post all the links for next week's shows after our show tonight, so y'all will get to see when we will be live all week next week, pending any other. We have some other obligations that we were going to commit to originally, but we haven't got confirmation as of today. So tapping in though today, man. I appreciate y'all for tapping in. We're going to get into it. Basically today, I just want to kind of talk about how Alabama has flipped the script on the recruiting landscape in this 2027 class. You had a lot of people, especially within the SEC, that thought that this 2027 class, because of the current star rating, was going to be a weak class, and it was no secret that Alabama wasn't going to buy a class this year. It was no secret. I did my freaking research, or I guess you could say your yeah, we could go with research. We were able to follow up some things with the Osani Gale signing, and that came out of the blue. Even the staff felt like they were in a decent place with them, but nobody felt that there would be a strong verbal commitment as soon as it happened. Especially with the prospective wide receiver room that could be returning next year. I think he fits right into that group, especially if you look at the exit of Ryan Coleman Williams. He'll probably be the only one in that room that actually has to exit, him and NJ Chergwin being the most veteran presence in that room. Probably the only draft. I mean, who else? Derek Meadows is a sophomore this year, right? No, Meadows is a red shirt sophomore, so he would be eligible if he had a breakout year. He would be eligible to go to the draft. I don't see that happening. Rico Scott is eligible for the draft. So you just think about some of the players that really still need a year to prove themselves outside of Ryan Williams. A young Sedarian Morgan, a second-year Sedarian Morgan, bringing on the Sonic Gales, also getting the signing of. Let me pull up my graphic here. Our current 2027 commit graphic. Here we go. Let's kind of open up the conversation. You look at this class, man. Alabama didn't have a lot of wide receiver targets on their list. There were a couple of 3 stars that we talked about that I felt like, and I still feel like, will be high end targets for this class. That we'll be able to get at an underrated value with their current ratings. And it's funny how the NIL works with the rating system. I'm just trying to find a good one. It's funny how the NIL works with the rating system, chat, because one, literally that's all you have to go off of when these players and these coaches are pitching their deals, so to see. What's good, Miss Pat? Good to see you in the chat. Look, we just talking and chilling tonight. I'm gonna open the phone lines here in a second, just to kind of get some thoughts for some conversation. We got an open chat tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, we got the phone call segment. Friday, Free for All Friday. Y'all know we've been doing Free for All Friday since we started our network. Other people have kind of picked up the idea and tried to run with it, but it's nowhere near the excitement that we bring, especially when we do our pregame shows in the season. So make sure y'all tap in tomorrow morning for that. But tonight, we got the phone lines open. As a matter of fact, they will be open here in 5 minutes. You can call in at any time. We will have the signal flash, and we'll go into our phone call studio, and y'all will be able to call on the phone lines and talk about it. But a couple of hot topics I want to kind of get on top of tomorrow, if not tonight, during this hour and a half segment, this hour segment. A couple of topics, and I wrote them down today. Why does Alabama's offensive line, the change in the whole look of the offensive line. Why did it have to change? We're going to dive into that topic deep in depth in tomorrow. But if you have some thoughts on why Alabama's O-line had to take had to get a facelift, or quote unquote had to do had to get a BDL, so to say, right? We had, because you look at the type of tackles, right, that Coach Saban and his staff recruited during that tenure, and you look at the type of tackle that's being recruited on this roster right now that came in from the portal. I don't think Alabama fans are really appreciating what Kalen DeBoer and this staff are doing as far as keeping up with what college football looks like and what's winning national championships. Caden Proctor is not necessarily the prototypical tackle with his skill set. The size, though, is what you love. And then his ability to adjust from what he was doing under the Saban era, those first 2 years under Coach Saban, to adjust and switch up under Coach Kalen DeBoer and still remain one of the top tackles, one of the top offensive linemen in the draft. That shows you how skillful of a player he was. And let's be honest, let's be honest, Coach Cap didn't do any offensive lineman justice as far as their development, and because there was kind of like a schematic clash, philosophy clash amongst him and the other the offensive coordinators that he had to assist under. So I look at it now, and I look at Lloyd Jackson, 6'7". You know, same thing with your tackle on the other end, Javen James, 6'5". You know, big tackles that to me move well in space, right? Very technically sound and pass pro, very physical and run blocking. I look at the projected lineup that we have right now, and I'm gonna go ahead and pull it up. The projected offensive line that I have right now, mine and our lads we don't see it the same with our lads, and our lads does a great job. Shout out to ourlads.com. Let me pull up this offensive depth chart. Here we go. See if we can get this on the screen and make it look good. All right. They're looking good with these graphics nowadays, ain't we, Mary J? Looking like somebody care about us over here. All right, so check this out. Y'all see my offensive line, my projected offensive line. I have Lloyd Jackson, the left tackle, left guard Mal Waldrop, center Racine Delgado, right guard Michael Carroll, and then at right tackle I have Javen James, the transfer from Mississippi State. When I look at James, the reason why I think he fits at tackle, one, he may not be 6'7" like Lloyd Jackson, but his frame and his reach, those long arms is what helped these offensive linemen kind of pick up, or I guess you can make up for the ground that they lose in the protection battle with these fast edge rushers and these fast defensive ends, these second level linebackers and defensive backs that come from the second level. Their arms that's why you talk about violent hands and quick hands, being able to shoot their hands, because the quicker they're able to get hands on with these strong big guys, 6'5", 6'7", 6'8" offensive linemen, they get hands on you. It's hard to get away from them. So you look at the hands, but then also just the footwork, right? So Javen James, Lloyd Jackson, they provide that perimeter protection that you want. And then you look at the physicality between Michael Carroll, and then I would even go as far as to say, I know we have Mal Waldrop as the slotted one to start at left guard, but I wouldn't be surprised if the transfer from Texas, Nick Brooks, I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up sliding into that role. He's a bigger body, bigger frame, comes from a pedigree of a program in high school, got to play some at Texas, and this is a young guy with a lot of tread on his tire, So coming in, learning the scheme in the spring, definitely put him behind Mal Waldrop, who's had a year in the scheme ahead of him. And then also Mal Waldrop is just a guy that's continued to develop physically. I didn't think Mal Waldrop would hit 6'6", 315, but I think he's walking around right now at 315, 320. Another, I guess you could say legacy or pedigree players, somebody that comes from a football family. A lot of our offensive linemen come from football families. They're not young offensive linemen as far as not playing for a long time. I think the one that has the least amount of experience at the offensive line at the offensive line position right now, that whole group would be I think the young man Bryson Cooley, the freshman. I think he would be the one with the least experience. I think he came from playing D-line in high school and switched to offensive line his junior year, going into his junior year. So I think he's probably the least experienced. What's up, Matt? Matt, what's good? Good to see you. Get that comment on the screen for me, Mary J. Good to see you in the chat, Matt. Good to see you, man. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. US. Y'all seen the USA win? Was that today we won? Or was that yesterday? That was a big matchup. I gotta watch the highlights again. I didn't catch the whole game. I just saw like the last 7 minutes of it, I think. But if you haven't been watching World Cup, man, hopefully y'all enjoyed it. So we just talking offensive line right now. Why did Alabama have to see a major facelift? If you look at the offensive line personnel from last year, I think we only have 1, 2, 3 offensive linemen from last year's roster returning, and only one actually played meaningful reps during the season. Lloyd Jackson played some towards the end, but only and Sanders played sparingly. He played a lot of your six offensive line, played some relief reps at the guard position. So you got a minimal amount of continuity there, but you got a lot of experience returning. You got the junior transfer in from JUCO in Delgado, who's going to give us 2 years. I think he's your guy for 2 years. As you see Strayhorn continue to push at that position, you see other interior offensive linemen like Mal Waldrop and I forget the Casey Poe. You see Casey Poe working at center. 50 might mess around and be a Swiss Army knife for the offensive line here in the next 2 years. I don't see Casey Poe taking a chance in the portal no time soon. But you look at where he's played at since his arrival at Alabama 3 years ago. He's played at tackle. He's played at guard. He's taken snaps at center. Those type of guys, just like Sanders. Same thing happened with Sanders. And you see Sanders, a redshirt sophomore, came in the same class with Poe. That class had a lot of versatile offensive linemen in it. Remember, that was the last Saban class. So you got to think that was that type of class. And guys came in with kind of versatile archetypes at the offensive line position. So I think right now with the O-line, it needed to see, and just the size difference. You look at the average height across the offensive line right now is 6'5", right? 6'5". I think the average weight right now is 295. So you right there at the NFL offensive line size. You're looking kind of like what Indiana, Michigan, Ohio State, Georgia, their offensive line, we're looking like. We're getting, I think Caleb DeBoer and the staff saw something early on coming into the portal period, and they addressed it. They addressed it heavily. They didn't have to spend a lot of money on it. If you think about it, Ty Haywood was a 5-star guy that Alabama was after before he committed to Michigan. To be able to go and get him lets you know that they've been kind of keeping and monitoring him. And the fact that he wasn't able to go to Michigan and start like he thought he would be able to at Bama lets him know that he needs to develop. So you come to Alabama with a little bit of a humble pie, but you still got the skill set. And let's be honest, I don't think Ty Haywood had the spring that he felt like he should have had. So if he comes back with the right momentum, that type of skill set that we would see on those highlight films and some of the clips that we saw, you get a guy like that locked in. That's a dangerous group of offensive linemen. You're talking about 7 to 9 offensive linemen that you can rotate and feel confident just based off their natural offensive line skill sets. All right, a little bit more. Let's talk a few more topics before we open up the phone lines. Position battles and projected starters. Like I said, everybody's talking about the offensive line. I mean, the quarterback room. We talked about the offensive line today, but the wide receiver room, I feel like there's going to be a little bit mix up of the first 3 guys out. We look at this depth chart. I put Derek Meadows, Lachie Brooks, and Ryan Williams. Right, even let's even add the tight end to this. Let's add the tight end to this. Caleb Edwards. I think he's your for sure tight end number 1. I know we went out and got a veteran in Josh Ford, I think Josh Ford is your premier H back. So if we had to put an H spot on here, add a 12th, quote unquote 12th position, slash tight end, secondary, put an H back on there, I would put Josh Ford there as the starter. Right? I think him and Jay Lindsey will get equal amount of burn at the H position. I truly believe what Jay Lindsey did in spring ball probably propelled him to possibly be the first one out. But Josh Ford is a guy, they went out and paid some good money to get him as a tight end. One of the more highly rated tight ends in this class. I mean, that came out the portal. So that was a good steal for Bama. Shout out to everybody on the TikTok side. Appreciate New York all day. Britt, everybody over there on that side for tapping the screen. Britt, appreciate you for the gifts, sis. The 10, I don't know what those are. What are they? Let's see. I don't know what they are. Let's look real quick. I gotta see real quick. What are those? What are those? I don't know what they are, but they appreciate you for them. Appreciate you. Somebody said, Junior Connor said, can Rico Scott put it all together? I mean, what hasn't he done? I think Rico Scott, for the amount of targets that he's had, right? And you look at the depth chart that he was playing within last year, even in his freshman year, I think he's done more than enough than what he's been given. If he's given more opportunities, I think he puts it all together. I think he produces more. Rico Scott is one of the more reliable hands on the team right now. He's one of your more physical presence in the wide receiver room, and still provides the vertical threat. So, Junior, I do think he can put it all together. I don't know if you're saying that he's been underachieving. I don't think so. I don't think he's been underachieving. So, but Rico Scott is one that I would quickly put in the mix to be possibly at the slot. I like him more at the Z. Him and Ryan rotating, but he could possibly be in front of Brooks. Do I truly think they're going to have a actual starter in front of Brooks with the dynamic playmaking ability he provides? No. I think he's your true slot receiver in this room. Him, Amari Saab. I know I jumped over Aubrey Walker, but him, Amari Sapp, Tyler Henderson, Aubrey Walker, I think they're prototypical slot assets for this type of scheme. Guys that you could put in the slot, get a safety linebacker matchup, a nickel corner, some type of disguised coverage mix-ups when you got that type of speed and guys can't play too much instinct ball with that much speed on the field. You gotta be honest. And when you are honest, you tilt your hat a little bit, and that gives the smart offensive coordinators and receivers, right, the edge. Because they know pre-snap. You're showing me what you're showing me because you have to contain this part of what we do. And because you're showing me that, guess what? I can make an in-play adjustment or on-the-fly adjustment. So that's the advantage. And when I look at the wide receivers that's available in this wide receiver room, chat, you're talking about outside of the three that's listed on this depth chart, you got Sedarian Morgan, the true freshman that has already shown us that he's a big playmaker. Right? We talked about Rico Scott. I think Tyler Henderson, the transfer, is going to get opportunities early. I will say this: I heard the young man got some hands problems. We don't need all that speed and no hands. We got to make sure we catching the ball. Our wide receiver core had way too many drops. I understand majority of them was between the top two targeted players, which is expected. But we gotta make sure we're catching the ball. But you got the wide receiver room at Alabama. Let me just go off our list here. I thought I had a graphic made, but I do got my list. Derek Meadows, Rico Scott, Latair Brooks, Sedarian Morgan, Ryan Williams, Tyler Henderson. You have MJ Chergwin and Noah Rogers, who's injured. You got Mathis, who will be on campus, Aubrey Walker, and Amari Saab. So you have a slim wide receiver room as far as experience, but you're talking about pure speed in this room. You got two big bodies that you feel like you can throw the ball up to. You got your tight ends. All of your tight ends are 6'5 plus. All of them. It's crazy that Alabama has this many tight ends on the roster, but for the size of what they're bringing to the table, Marshall Pritchett, Caleb Edwards. We haven't talked a lot about Marshall Pritchett. One, because I think he's going to be one of the breakout guys in the receiving core. He is a true receiving asset. I know when he first got on campus, his main focus, their main focus was to get his development in pass pro, right? He didn't have a problem with getting downfield and getting a hat on the hat. It was his pass pro, helping out in pass pro, his timing in that release blocking. So going to see him try to see him impact the game at a different level this year. I'm trying to get to this our graphic that we made for the roster. I didn't make the tight end one. I had a fire one that was already made. But yeah, so the tight end room going to be huge. I think that's going to be huge to whichever quarterback ends up being the full-time starter too. Let's be honest. We have yet to see the tight ends maximize their capabilities, or we've yet to see this offensive scheme maximize the capabilities of the tight ends in his 2 years that we've had it under Kalen DeBoer. Both Nick Sheridan and Ryan Grubb, I think there was a severe underusage of the run game, the running back run game. Let's put it like that: the running back run game the last 2 years, and also the usage of the tight end, designated tight end scheme. I look at this room, man. Danny Lewis is back. Jay Lindsey is back. Marshall Pritchett is back. Josh Ford is there. Max Sutter, the true freshman. Young, very athletic. Somebody that's going to have to learn on the fly, though. He got a lot to learn. I think he got a lot to learn before he sees the field at Alabama. Danny Lewis is another guy, fifth-year senior. It's all or nothing here. How does he get into the rotation? We didn't see much of a presence from him during the spring game, not with the ones. So it's going to be interesting to see. Well, we did see him with the ones because we had a few injuries there. But going to be interesting to see how, if he can stay healthy, what can Danny Lewis do? I think he had 2 catches last season. He had a big block on a third down for Ty Simpson on a rollout, a broken play. So Danny Lewis, I don't know. The staff must love him. He didn't find much success in the portal when he jumped in the portal. So it's going to be the receiving core. We're going to talk about those position battles, who can be out there for the start. A lot of people think it's written on the wall because you got Latsier Brooks, Ryan Williams, Derek Meadows. Noah Rogers was kind of like the question in the air. Cedarius Morgan is another young name, freshman that we keep, is how long before he becomes a full-time starter. Same thing we were asked about Ryan Williams, his freshman year. How long before you don't just name him a starter? Shadarian is that type of talent. Ole Miss Robin, appreciate the Rose over there. She said, "Go Rebels." We'll talk some Ole Miss tomorrow. We got free for all tomorrow. As a matter of fact, I didn't mean to laugh at Ole Miss. I actually rock with Ole Miss. Appreciate the roses though. Appreciate the roses. Trinidad and Kwan Lacey. I'm rocking with them. I like Trinidad Charles. I almost said Trinidad James again. And Lacey was a running back that I felt like Alabama, if we weren't pushing for, I think that was the Haynes class. Was that Justice and what's his name class? If we didn't have those, Richard Young and all those guys in that class, I think Lacey was right there in the runnings for top targets in Alabama. Trinidad Chambliss, yeah. And we got the phone lines open in here in about 3 minutes. If you want to call in and talk some SEC ball, we open tonight. I'm just discussing Alabama right now, but we got plenty of talk for SEC ball coming up. Alabama doesn't see Ole Miss this year, but I know Ole Miss. I think I projected Ole Miss to go 10-2, if I'm not mistaken. I remember I projected them to go 10-2, I believe. But yeah, we got the phone lines opening up. All right, another topic. Let's transition real quick before I get sidetracked with my ADHD. Y'all know how I get, man. I get the sidetracked and stuff. So we just talked about position battles, projected stars. We're gonna talk about wide receivers tomorrow. I think on the defensive side, it's pretty wrapped up. I think we got a good gauge of what the starting lineup looks like. We've discussed that in detail. We'll kind of revisit that tomorrow. The offensive line with the facelift, what does this mean for the running game? Do we see a running game improvement at Alabama? It's a lot of SEC schools last season that did not have a prototypical, what we've come to know as SEC run game dominance. We didn't see a lot of schools. And the schools that had it, surprisingly, you're talking about Vanderbilt, Missouri, Georgia was still amongst the ones that was very, very effective. Texas A&M, Ole Miss, the way that they used the quarterback in the run game. Florida was up and down, but outside of that, you had no one with a consistent run game. Going to see if Alabama's facelift on the offensive line changes the production of the run game, and what does that look like? Do you have 1,000-yard back in this room? Me personally, I don't think so. Not this year. I think you have a couple 600-yard backs that do consistently, averaging about 4.3 to 4.8 yards per carry amongst the group. That's a solid group. You get one of those backs to be able to change his pace and average that 5.5, 5.7 with the limited amount of carries. If they be the explosive back, you can have a balanced run attack. We're going to talk about that tomorrow. And then also with the facelift, the passing attack, do we finally see a quarterback excel in this offensive scheme? Not hit a plateau and just kind of the play calling is quote unquote the reason, but do we see a quarterback that can fully open up playbook once we see the offensive line? All right. And does that lead us to that return to the SEC championship win? Not just a berth, but a championship win, and not just the college football playoff first round win. Can we win the whole thing this year because of the massive changes that we've seen on the offensive line? And that's the main topics of conversation we're going to discuss in detail tomorrow for Alabama. Now, across college football, we've seen the stories of NIL, the Sorsby situation. We talked about all that. I want to present the question to you. Who's the surprise team of the college football season? Just dark horse. Who's the surprise team? It doesn't have to be Alabama. It could be, and to me, Alabama winning 9, 10, 11 games is not a surprise, right? I'm talking about think outside the box. Let's talk SEC. Let's not just talk college football. Let's talk SEC. Who in the SEC is going to be the surprise team? I want to open the phone lines for that conversation here in a few minutes. But before that, I'm going to take a minute and let you take an opportunity to join the AAA family and become a member and support the Coach Smook Network by becoming a member and helping us grow, man. Every member, every subscription helps. Every membership helps even more. We appreciate each and every one of you for supporting. This is how you join the Coach Smook Network. Check it out. Glad you chose to stop by the channel today. Just wanted to give you an opportunity to really become a part of this community here at the Coach Smook Network. We like to call ourselves the AAA family. The AAA stands for authenticity above all. We just want to give you an opportunity to become a part of this community because we're growing and we're doing something special here as a fan base, not just for Alabama, but the fan community as a whole. We're creating an environment where it's safe to be yourself, be authentic, and meet people who share the same passion you share, whether it's for the same team or not. You can do this by becoming a member of the AAA family. You simply start by just clicking the link provided to you by one of the moderators in the chat, or it'll be pinned to the top of the chat. Click that link. It'll bring you to my homepage. When you get to my homepage, make sure you hit the notification button and turn on all notifications. Understand that there are multiple ways to support the channel, and each level has its perks. You can go through and read each perk. As we continue to grow, new perks will be added to each level. One thing we would like to highlight that all AAA members are greatly appreciated. It does not go unnoticed that you have taken time and hard-earned money to support this channel. Once you join, YouTube is going to ask for some payment information, and make sure you monitor your subscription dates. Also, if you really want to get interactive with the community and find out what's going on, think about joining our Discord family. This is where you can get into all the fan talk of the community, and also there are networking opportunities. Please be mindful that there are rules and that we expect everyone to treat everyone with respect. Also, if you're looking to partner with Coach Smook Network or sponsor, please hit us up at coachsmooknetwork@gmail.com, and our staff will get back to you in a timely manner. I'm your boy, Coach Smook of the Coach Smook Network, and I thank you for supporting this channel.
Cold Smook. Put me in a game, Cold Smook.
Like, share, subscribe. You know we keep it live.
Put me in a game, Cold Smook. 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 Put me in a game, Cold Smoke. Put me in a game, Cold Smoke. Put me in a game, Cold Smoke.
Like, share, subscribe. You know we keep it live.
All right, so our call-in line is open 334-625-1121. Call in, say your name, and put me in the game, Coach Smook. Y'all, topics of conversation hot on the press today, everywhere. I mean, college football is just, it's a year-round thing for real now. Between recruiting, between the portal window, everything is just different now. So we're gonna get into the phone lines and let's see what we can get into conversation-wise. Y'all know who's on the line. Let's see.
Call from Zach Willie. To accept, press 1. To send a voice.
Yo, Zach, what's up, man? You in the game with Coach Smook? Talk to me, man. Y'all give it up for Zach in the chat.
What's good, Coach Smook and my AAA family? How are y'all doing this evening?
Man, we good tonight, Zach. We good tonight. What's on your mind, man?
Man, I'm excited for this football season, and I like the changes, the facelift we did at offensive line. I like what we got in the wide receiver room. I like what we have in the quarterback room to the running back room. I like what this team has. My SEC dark horse, it hurts me to say this, but I got to go with Auburn this year. With what they brought in from a coaching staff standpoint to the players they brought in from the portal and everything, I think Auburn's gonna. I'm not saying they're gonna, be a SEC championship game contender or playoff contender this year, but they would be making the right steps, to moving forward. Turning their team around like 8-4, 7-5 kind of team this year, making the right steps to get to where they want to be.
Facts, man. I got them going 9-3, and I'm gonna just run through the schedule and my predictions real quick. Again, I know we did this on the episode, but I got them win against Baylor at home. They got South Alabama the next week. Then they get on the road at Norman. John Mateer is going to have to show me that he can do something against a quality defensive coordinator and DJ Durkin and this quality defense that Auburn is going to field once again this year. Same thing with the matchup against Texas against Kent State. I think they win that one easily. And then at Texas A&M, I think that's the first environment and the first team that kind of matches up personnel-wise on paper. Texas A&M is a solid squad, returning a lot of experience, right? They quarterback situation, they very confident in that right now. And what they did last year, they felt like they got to a point where they kind of hit a peak or a plateau, and that's where they kind of survived through. But with this offseason, they feel like they've grown with them. I talked to a few guys that we were privileged to meet during our travel that are some solid Texas A&M fans, and they're excited about their offense this year. They believe they're going to have a better passing offense. Do I think it's going to be better? I'm going to have to see it to believe it. But I think Auburn loses. That'd be their first loss. Right. I think that's the first loss. And then were we able to confirm if Auburn they go to Athens this year, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so the fact that the fact that Auburn is going to Georgia, I just don't know. I feel like this game to me is one of the more important games for Georgia than it is for Auburn. It's more important for Georgia. Right. And I think the pressure of this game will get to Georgia at some point. I think the pressure of this game will get to Georgia. And I think Auburn will have a chance. Do I think they win it? That's a toss-up game for me. That's one of the toss-up games for me. It's a rivalry game. It has all the makeup, the athletic quarterback that's always giving Coach Smart problems.
That's there. And then I got them winning at Missouri. I got them winning at home against Arkansas. I have them also playing a tough one against Vandy, right? That's a toss-up for me. Vandy coming in after a bye week. At Kentucky, I have them winning that one. I have a toss-up between them and Tennessee at this point of the season. And I think because of them hosting Tennessee at home and having to play a tough game against Tennessee, coming to the Iron Bowl, we know that the Iron Bowl, everything gets thrown out the window. But I think Kalen DeBoer truly has a bead on what the Iron Bowl means. And there's just a certain energy around this squad that I feel this year that Kalen DeBoer is going to approach this season a little bit differently with his approach. So I got him going 9-3. I got 3 toss-ups in there, 1 for sure loss going against Alabama. Well, I got 2 for sure losses coming at Alabama and either Georgia, Texas A&M. But then the toss-ups are I can't even say that because I have a toss-up between Georgia and Texas A&M. So I got the 3 toss-ups and a for sure loss with 9-3. But that's kind of like my dark horse for the upcoming season too, Zach. If you had to pick somebody else, man, somebody that currently is off the map that may have a few pieces, but you know, people just aren't giving those pieces a chance. They think maybe a year or 2 out. Who do you think is that team that may surprise people but are truly a year or 2 out?
I would have to go with Mississippi State. Because Mississippi State shocked some people last year. You know, they played a tough game against a down Texas team, but still, that Texas team had enough pieces on the defensive side of the ball to make it more, or to win that game and to blow Mississippi State out if they really wanted to, you know. But I think Mississippi State, just with what Coach Levy is doing over there, I think he's finally getting the pieces that he needs to take that next step to make a Mississippi State more competitive in the SEC.
Okay. If I had to pick one, if I had to pick a true dark horse, I think Auburn, to me, with the offseason moves, they catching the eyes of enough teams in the SEC. Alex Golesh had a lot of prospective opportunities, you know, in the SEC as far as head coaching opportunities. I want to go to this side. I'm gonna ride with Tennessee. I think Tennessee's situation with their quarterback is a lot less confusing than what we're making. We saw Josh Heupel take Nico, a quarterback that I truly believe, had he been able to develop 2 years in that under Heupel, he would be a Heisman contender right now. Not just off of his name, but just by pure development in a scheme. I do feel like Tennessee has a freshman in Brandon Faison that, with Heupel, a coach like Heupel, you're going to see a system that grows with the quarterback. And when you have that, right, Zach, that's when you see offenses kind of, they start to catch teams off guard week 7, week 8, week 9. Because they look so young and discombobulated the first 4 to 5 weeks, they're thrown on the road. They're thrown into some pressure situations. Let me just go over Tennessee's schedule. I'm gonna kind of give you a reason why I feel like they could be on the outside looking in. I did look at them at 6, 7, and 5. I do feel like the quarterback situation will have them lose a few earlier ones that they will learn how to win later on in the season. Like Georgia Tech. I think that's going to be their first tough matchup. And it's in Georgia, it's in Atlanta. So that one on the road with the young quarterback, a lot of young offensive pieces at the wide receiver room, talent, but just young. Again, at home against Texas, a team that I think is going to be primed and ready early in the season. They're going to come out humming. And then again at Auburn, they get to host Auburn.
I think that'll be the one we see that Tennessee like, oh, they could be something if they could put these few things together. And then I see them going on a nice little competitive stretch at Arkansas, winning that one, losing to us at home. I feel like we're going to come in with some vengeance and be able to put Womack and his young quarterback situation is going to be one to watch, though. He has yet to really expose inexperienced quarterbacks while he's been at Alabama. I will say that he's done very well against the experienced guys. It's been the young guys he's struggled with for some reason. And then Tennessee. Go ahead.
Nico, he didn't struggle with in the first half. He had a game plan. Nico was and Heupel was just able to make adjustments. And with the lack of offense that we had, our defense got tired, and Tennessee started making plays in the second half. But we did have Nico's number in the first half of that game.
Go back and watch that game again, Zach, though, because if you look at that at the beginning of that game, we didn't have Nico's number. Nico missed on 2 touchdowns in the first quarter. Like go back and rewatch the game. He missed on 2 touchdowns. He was playing real timid, and I don't think they necessarily made adjustments. He just kind of settled into the game, and that's what I'm saying. Like Josh Heupel has a system that for young guys, you give them so much space to work with the formations, the presets, that it's 1-2 decision, 1-2-3 decision. It's never 1-2-3-4-5-6 decision in this offense, and that's why you see those quarterbacks. Their numbers always look well. Do they always, perform dominantly? No, but they do have the numbers because of how the system is. You get a quarterback that doesn't get too greedy under Josh Heupel, they're going to find great success. That wide receiver room is great. The offensive line is being restructured. I think they have enough talent there. I think Tennessee is the true dark horse of the SEC. Somebody that was right there on the outside. Did Tennessee make the playoffs last season? No, they missed it. They made it the season before though, with Nico, a team that I truly believe has an opportunity to really flip a few games. I look at them at South Carolina. I have them going on the road and losing that one tough, but they could win that one. That could put them at 8-4. They could win at Texas A&M. They could beat LSU late in the season. They could win at Vanderbilt. Like all of these games, and when you think about it, when you're talking about the guaranteed losses or teams that I truly feel like have the edge against them, Georgia Tech, Texas, Auburn, and Alabama, like the true edge. The true edge as far as just experience, personnel on roster matching up, and the quarterback situation being different.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And I agree. And but yeah, and I feel more comfortable this year. I think by the time Auburn gets to Alabama, Keelan or whoever the quarterback is, I believe Keelan, but that's just my opinion. And but I think Keelan would have enough experience from the season to overcome what Alex Golesh will throw at him.
100%. I think Golesh is going to mess with a lot of people's minds in the SEC. The board and staff having that experience against him at USF is going to play huge dividends for us. But I do think DJ Durkin and Alex Golesh is a match made in heaven, and it's going to be a headache for a lot of teams coming up for the next. I mean, if they could keep, if Auburn can find a way to keep Durkin on staff for the next 4 years, they can be a contender in the SEC. And I'm talking about a legit contender, Zach.
Yep.
And everybody knows as a Bama fan, some Bama fans hate Tennessee more. I truly hate Auburn. Like I truly dislike everything about Auburn. I wouldn't listen, and this ain't even being funny. My nephew Travis Smith Jr. plays for Tennessee. I will wear a Tennessee Vols t-shirt with Smith and his number on the back. Number one, I will wear that to a Tennessee game on a bye week to support my nephew. But if I had a family member playing for Auburn, you know what I would wear to an Auburn game?
your Alabama stuff.
Exactly. My Alabama gear. Maybe I find a custom shirt or a jersey or something. Put my family members, my nephews. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I put that. Maybe I put that on, and I support them that type of way, right? My Bama gear with their name and their number on it. But I would never wear a Auburn shirt. I remember one time, and I think I told the story before, and then I'm gonna get your final thoughts, Zach. Somebody bought my son, my third son, my third oldest son, Jeremiah. He was born in Texas, right? We had friends. We had friends that were in the military that were from Texas, so they were like, "Yeah, he's a Longhorn baby." We weren't playing that, of course, but we also had friends back home, family back home, that thought it would be funny to mail us a Auburn onesie, talking about congrats on your new baby boy. So this is around 2012, right when Facebook Live was starting to become a real thing. I went live on Facebook and I burnt the fresh out the packet onesie. Burnt that bad boy in the barbecue grill. I burnt that mug. I set it aflame, a fresh one. I wasn't going to talk about you could have gave that to Goodwill for what? You think I'm gonna do that? I would never disrespect somebody else's child by putting that in something to give away to somebody to put that on their skin. What kind of mess we talking about? Zach, final thoughts, man.
Road time, my AAA family. I love you guys. I'll holler at y'all later.
Hey, Zach, say it for me one time, man.
Coach Smook, put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We got you, man. I'll give it up for my guy, Zach, man. Hey, appreciate Zach for calling in. Y'all know Zach gonna always call in, man. That's my favorite caller. Look, right now he's my only consistent caller while folks are trying to joke. I seen the little comments in the chat the other day, man. Y'all was doing y'all big one over there talking about my viewership and stuff. I stuck it out. But that lets me know that y'all watching too, because you actually got to come over here to see how many people are actually watching live. You know, and it lets me know that a lot of y'all that's not commenting are literally those people. And I'm not mad. If you just not a commenting type, you don't know how to comment, you watch me on your TV. Oh, shout out to, man, listen, I gotta, let me send this to y'all real quick. I gotta show y'all this. So y'all know I live in Montgomery, Alabama, and this was cool, man. It was pretty cool to, like I said, every time I had these moments, it's not me being like, oh, I'm famous and then this is me being grateful and humbled in the moment. I was walking downtown Montgomery. I was headed to the gym. Oh no, I was actually headed to get me some food. And I'm walking past Alabama Power. If you all are from Montgomery, Alabama, downtown on Dexter Ave, the Alabama Power building where you go pay your bill at, right? I'm walking past there, and I see this older gentleman, this elderly gentleman, and he just cheesing. He see me like, "Hey, Coach Smook, put me in the game." And we said that you could tell he watches the show, man. Mr. Ron, I want to say his last name was Ron Cantrell. I want to say that's what his name was, but I shook his hand. I asked him for a picture. Y'all know me. Those moments are humbling for me. The fact that I have, and this ain't no joke, y'all. The fact that there are senior citizens or people that aren't in my age group, aren't technically like a part of this social media era, right? They barely know how to use phones, but to go and be able to find my content and be like a follower, a supporter, somebody that supports, that's freaking awesome to me. So I want to share this picture with y'all real quick. Hold on. I'm going to share screen real quick. So this is Mr. Ron Cantrell. He pulled up, he caught me walking downtown Montgomery the other day. I was headed to get me some food. And it was pretty cool. Pretty cool. You know, those moments there are very much heartfelt and heartwarming. Especially, I mean, just he was excited, y'all. Like, he made me feel like somebody. And I had my headphones in at first. I was playing some music on my phone. And when he recognized me, man, I couldn't help but to just, like, I was just amazed, man.
I was just amazed. Like I said, it was a moment. I'm grateful. I'm humbled by every interaction. And I think, I don't know, I was playing my music on my phone, like I said, y'all. Let me see if I could.
Ron Tatum. Yeah, nice to meet you, man. Appreciate the support, y'all.
Yeah, I was playing my music.
Ron Tatum. Yeah, nice to meet you.
Ron Chaney, I think that's his name. Shout out to Ron. If you watching this stream right now, man, I told you I was going to share it and show you some love next time we went live. Definitely appreciate your support and everything you do to help the Coach Smook Network. Y'all, we coming up on an hour. I want to leave the phone lines open just in case somebody else want to call in and talk some SEC football. We talking SEC football. We're kind of talking about the dark horses of the SEC. Talking dark horses of the SEC. I talk about Auburn, Tennessee being the dark horses. A lot of people, I'm sleeping on Oklahoma. I'm gonna be honest. I'm sleeping on Oklahoma. I don't trust Metir. I think he came in with a lot of hype last season. Came out. I think the injury kind of bailed him out of people really truly accepting what he is. Like what I saw him at Washington State. I think same thing is going to happen with the quarterback that went to LSU. What was the man's name? I forget the quarterback. Everybody's hype about going to LSU. He hasn't been for the life of me, chat. Let's look at some of the quarterback transfer situations that have happened over the past 2 years that have worked out in the quarterback's favor. What transfer quarterback has come into the SEC and really just taken off and won and like just dominated the conference? Let's say Pavia, but that wasn't like he didn't. Did they? I think they won 9 games that season, 10 games, right? Sam Levitt, that's the quarterback everybody's excited about at LSU. I don't see it. I just don't see it. I understand he came in as a 4-star quarterback. He was playing at Arizona State, but they had Scatterboot then. Trinidad Chambliss, you think he dominated the SEC, Big Frank? I don't think so. I don't think he dominated the SEC. I think he exposed Georgia and Kirby Smart's system for what it was, but you look at the way that Ole Miss played throughout the season, they could have lost a few games. They won because of that defense. That defense from Ole Miss and Pete Golden, that defense was the catalyst last year. But maybe since Joe Burrow, I'll give Diego Pavia. I mean, a lot of these guys come in and they have hype for a few games and then they get exposed. Same thing with Marcel Reed. He didn't transfer in, but a new face on the scene. Same thing with Ty Simpson. Same thing with Jalen Miro, year 1. Like, no quarterbacks ever come in year 1 and have super success in the SEC. Now, what we did see is quarterbacks leave the SEC. Carson Beck left the SEC, went to Miami, had great success, right? Who else left the SEC? Eli Holston went to Pitt. Before his injury, he was going crazy. Haynes King at Georgia Tech for the past few years, literally changing these programs, the trajectory of these programs. I don't think you have that with Sam Levitt. I don't think you have that on any SEC roster as far as incoming portal quarterbacks. Tua wasn't a portal quarterback, man. He wasn't a transfer quarterback. I'm just saying, like, who literally, but he didn't. Can we say Miro won the SEC? Or Kevin still in that defense? Because I remember Miro. Yeah, I remember Miro. The same Miro I remember. But Florida. What about Florida? We keep sleeping on Florida, y'all. Why is everybody sleeping on Florida? Why is everybody sleeping on Florida? I got them going to 7-5. I'm going to tell you why everybody's sleeping on Florida. Because they got a new head coach. They got a new offensive coordinator. They got
They got all these things going. But what nobody ain't talking about with Florida is the fact that the wide receiver room, quality talent, experience. Eric Singleton in that wide receiver room is back. Y'all know who Singleton is, right? He was just at Georgia Tech. I mean, he was just at he got recruited to Georgia Tech, but he was just at Auburn last year. A lot of guys, man. Offensive line looks strong. They got a lot of experience up front on the O-line. If they find anything at quarterback, Jaden Barr, Evan Pryor, the Montgomery kid, what's his name? He was a highly touted kid when he was in coming out of high school. Man, where did that kid go? Alabama was on him in the 2024 class. I want to say 2024 class, 2020. London Montgomery. They got some backs. They got some pieces that can help them get along in this early part of this schedule. Like a lot of teams, literally, because I don't know much about the depth. If they stay healthy through the first 8 weeks, a lot of these teams can compete. I think Florida can compete with Auburn early in the season. I don't think they have enough, but don't let Auburn come in and play in a C game or B game. They'll win that one. They host Ole Miss. Ole Miss is a team I think highly of this year. They be one of those weird nightmare teams, man, that just figure something out late or early on and surprise people. A lot of spread in the SEC this year. A lot of spread in the SEC. And I think it's going to be another exciting year for college football, but more so for the SEC. I really do. So I truly thank y'all for hanging out tonight. Once again, we don't want to prolong these segment shows. We just want to give y'all a chance to come in and share your thoughts. Phone line is open 30 minutes into the show. Call in at any time. But we're going to go ahead and shut it down tonight. We're going to have some fun tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. We're going to be live here on the Coach Smook Network for our morning call-in show. Once again, and get into the more topics, talking some more SEC ball, so talking more hot topics across college football, y'all. I can't talk right now. I think my food is finally ready, and I'm ready to go get it off the stove. So I appreciate y'all for tapping in once again. And before we get it out of here, I just want to give a shout out to all of our sponsors here on the Coach Smook Network. That being the Farmers Insurance, Frederick Harris and Farmers Insurance of Hoover, Alabama, man. We appreciate you for supporting the Coach Smook Network and doing everything that you do to support and help us grow. And then also my guy, Kelsey Shepard over at First Place Barbering. We appreciate you for your support and your team supporting us. Also, those at Helping Hands, LLC, Minister Executive Security, Goomba Bullies, Walk-Ons. We appreciate you all and y'all support for us in autism awareness. I know it's not April anymore, but we still are taking donations. We made our donation in April, the largest donation we've made since the existence of the Coach Smook Network these past 2 years. These past 2 years that we've been fully operational. So give yourself up for that. I just forgot to acknowledge it again. And then we also are partnering collabing, y'all. We are partnering collabing with some breast cancer warriors and some survivors that have become a part supporting the Coach Smook Network, not necessarily with our sports media, but in our fitness sector, our fitness content and our fitness, I guess you could say, umbrella. What's up, Antoine? Good to see you, man. Roll Tide, my guy. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. But yeah, we are doing those collabs on that end. So as y'all continue to see us put out these awareness messages and content, y'all help us out, help us continue to grow, man. We want to impact more than just through sports media. We want to impact through every opportunity that we have to impact. I think more so than now, with how social media and things are utilized, we can really do more than just be in front of a camera on the microphone talking about college football to truly help our community and impact our community. So that's what we're doing here. I want to thank God for each and every one of you for your support. I love you all. Shout out to my my producer Jordan pulling up in the chat. Yes, we did miss you tonight. As always, man. I missed my whole team. I miss Amanda. She need to hurry up and get a computer fixed. So we can have the whole team ready. We got a lot of stuff. Y'all pray for the Coach Smook Network. It seemed like right when we hit a stride, things start going left. You know, the enemy try to distract us with some of the things. Well, God allows some things to happen to test our response. And I've had some trying days these past couple of days, but I will continue to trust and believe the word that He's placed over our lives and our destiny here at the Coach Smook Network. And we're going to be successful. We're going to be successful. We're going to keep grinding, keep our head down, and staying in our lane and maximizing the opportunities that He gives us. So with that being said, I appreciate y'all for tapping in. And remember, y'all, when you see me in the streets, holler at me and say, put me in the game, Coach Smook. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Roll Tide and be blessed.
Saying, put me in the game, coach, in the game, put me in the game, coach. That's what they say.
Players and the staff are pulling up right now for today's scrimmage. Coach David Ballou in the front. Y'all can see everybody pulling up, man. And boys over there, look at Deontay.
Hey, y'all, I'm walking out of Walmart. What's your name, bro?
Man, my name Michael McKinney, man. I'm a true Alabama fan, and this man does a good job on his podcast.
What's up, bro?
Reviewing Alabama football. Keep doing what you're doing, man.
Appreciate that, bro. Roll Tide.